So welcome back, dear viewers. Now, to complement that report, investing in stocks is one of the ways to achieve financial security, independence, and securing the future. But it is important to have a deeper understanding of how this investment in stock market can be successful. So for our next interview, to highlight some aspects and some ways of success in the investing in the stock market, we have with us the financial advisor, Dr. Shugatu Das, whom is an executive partner. So, Dr. Shugatu, thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you, yeah. Pleasure to be here.
Dr. Shugatu, before we delve into the complicated world of the stock exchange, please give us some background about yourself.
Right. I'm an executive partner in one of the investment advisory companies here in Kuwait, and we work both with the government entities as well as the private entities, corporations usually, on advising them on investment opportunities.
Right. So, Dr. Shugatu, it would be great to get some valuable information from you, given that you are an expert. So, to start off, tell us more about the world of the stock exchange market and what differentiates it from other economic worlds.
Right. In any free market economy, there are two activity areas. One activity is what we call the government activities, and the other one is the private sector activities. The stock exchange reflects the activities in the private sector. Stock exchange is like a mirror. You look at what's happening in the stock exchange and you get a very good idea about what's happening in the economy. In most markets, stock exchanges have got a listing of shares of companies, tradable debt instruments, hybrid products like futures, options, and so on and so forth. And they're categorized by industry, so it's a good reflection of what's happening in the economy.
That's amazing to hear. So if someone wants to better understand how strong a country is economically, then they should just turn to the stock exchange.
They should always refer to the activities in the stock market, and because a stock market actually carries two things. One, it shows what's the kind of economic activity is happening. Also, it shows the mood of the investors and the mood of the business in
Well, could
country.
you explain both those points, please?
One is in terms of as companies are doing good in the economy, they're posting profits, their share prices or the listed prices move up and they show a healthy growth, and there's a healthy amount of transactions happening. Sometimes we see that there is a general economic recession, or the investors are nervous, and suddenly there is a change in the pattern of buying and selling.
Of course, people are maybe more scared or relaxed.
And the pattern, they both reflect the mood as well as the volume of activities that's happening.
Okay, and Dr. Shugatu, you mentioned the patterns of the different companies on the stock market, or perhaps what people are investing in. Do you mean across the industries or across what exactly?
People choose based on the information they have. They choose whether they would like to go for a particular industry that they would like to invest in, or a particular company inside an industry. A stock exchange not only has got shares, it also have got debt security, so they would like to invest into a particular kind of a sukuk or another tradable security in there. So yes, it is all classified into different groups, and it allows the investor to make a choice of what they would like to put money in.
Well, it sounds like people have, or private businesses or the government, they have a lot of options when it comes to dealing with stocks on the market. So with that, of course, comes misconceptions. So could you share some of them and perhaps correct them for our audience members?
Yes, the way you put it is right. The conception is that one can make a certain amount of good returns from a stock market. However, there is also a conception that it's like a way of making quick money. Some people look at it as an option like a gambling.
Well, everyone wants something quick.
Yes, which is perhaps not fair and not something wise. So one needs to be careful about that type of sentiments in the market.
Okay, so it's just to be aware that it's not very quick money, that there are definitely risks involved, would you say?
There is risk involved. Any stock that gets listed has to announce what are the risks associated with the stock. A company which lists its shares on the market, they need to tell the public as to what are the risks involved. On the top of that, in markets like Kuwait, we have got a very strong regulator like the Capital Market Authority, who are if I may call the policemen in the stock market. They're the regulators, and they see that there is no malpractice that's happening in the market. In the market, this market works based on information, and sometimes people use information in a wrong way.
Of course.
In case of traders, sometimes traders are known to use information for their own personal benefits or profiteering, which in the stock market parlance is called insider trading, which is a punishable act by law. And the market regulators needs to, the Capital Market Authority always sees that there is no malpractice that's happening in the economy or in the market, which reduces the risk, not eliminates the risk. So there, yes, there's some amount of risk is still there.
And Doctor, with this supervision and with these regulators doing their job, of course there are different processes to have a company listed in the first place. So what are the different financial requirements for that?
That's right. Companies who would like to list their shares on the market, they need to have, under the current, the latest regulations of the capital market, they need to have 3 years of existence, which means they should have 3 years of financial data audited. They have to have the last 2 years as profitable, and they would also like to have at least 70% of their earnings coming from their main activity. For example, if it's a food company, 70% of the earnings should come from food and not from investment or other activities.
Okay. Well, Dr. Shagar, unfortunately we are running out of time, so perhaps we can wrap up with some quick advice for people wanting to invest in stocks but are perhaps a little hesitant of the risks.
Well, there's no hesitation. Only thing we advise is go by the news, not by the gossip. Go by facts, go by the fundamentals, go by the technicals of the market, and not what the friends or other people say.
Well, thank you so much for this advice and all the information you've provided this evening, and of course for joining us.
Thank you so much, Rania. Pleasure to be here.
So, dear viewers, with that we have finished our conversation with Dr. Shogatu Das, whom is an executive partner in the state of Kuwait. And with that, we have also come to the end of our episode this evening. We hope you've enjoyed what we've brought to you, from reports to interview segments. And with that, we'll see you next week. Please remember to take care, and we'll see you then.